In today's video, we're going to be looking at 30 plus Fast and Furious cars that you can own, buy, and recreate in Grand Theft Auto Online. So thanks to the newest online update, After Hours, we can actually recreate some new versions of Fast and Furious vehicles. So we're going to be going over those first, and then some of the best ones that we've been able to create over the last 4 years. So the most iconic vehicle I would say we can recreate is Paul Walker's famous Toyota Supra. Now, thanks to Rockstar reimagining and recreating the Jester Classic, we can now actually create a very realistic version of this car. So in order to do that, that's what you're going to need. You're going to need the Jester Classic. Now, you guys can follow along some of the instructions that I've done in this video. Because we're going to be going over so many cars, I don't want to obviously make this like 40 minutes long or anything like that. However, the big thing here is the new livery that Rockstar added. It's called 10-Minute Man, clearly a reference to the Fast and Furious franchise. From there, you just want to put all the same upgrades that you saw on this iconic vehicle in the film. Obviously, that bright orange paint job, the blue seats, and this is what my final product looked like right here. I mean, it's really, really close. Went with that kind of bright orange look, the big spoiler on the back. Obviously changed up the hood and the grille a little bit. Went with as close of wheels as I could. And I feel like this vehicle right here does a pretty good job of representing Paul Walker's Supra. So obviously that one is pretty cool. Probably the most iconic and famous of many of the Fast and Furious cars we're going to be looking at today. So that is new vehicle number 1 that you can recreate. The second vehicle today also involves the Jester Classic and the Toyota Supra. So this Supra that we're going to be recreating today is actually raced by Slapjack in the first race of Too Fast, Too Furious. So his Supra was sort of like this brown color, had like a little bit of burnt orange and red in it as well, and had this very unique livery on there. And the big thing with this vehicle is just apply the Slapdash Racing livery, which once again could not be more of a reference to the Fast and Furious franchise. And once you do that, you should be good to go. Now, the biggest thing with this one, I don't think I got the spoiler 100% perfect, nor do I think Rockstar had like a perfect one-to-one in the game. But this is my final product right here. If I were to do anything different, I would probably put like a red pearlescent on there just to give it a little bit of red instead of all that brown. But either way, I felt like that turned out really nicely. That is Slapjack Supra from Too Fast, Too Furious. And the final new vehicle that we can create today with the content Rockstar added in After Hours is Bryans Mitsubishi Eclipse. So for this, we're going to be using the Penumbra. And the big thing with this is the Penumbra gets a new livery. And that new livery is called Almost Had You, which is another direct reference to a line said by Roman in the Fast and Furious franchise. So once you do that, you just want to apply that iconic green color, make a carbon fiber hood, put a big spoiler on there, and boom, you've got Bryans Eclipse done right there. I don't think it's 100% perfect, but it is a clear Fast and Furious reference right there. So those are the 3 brand new vehicles that you can recreate from the Fast and Furious franchise with the After Hours content. I think you're going to be seeing a lot of those in car shows very soon. Let's move on to some more iconic Fast and Furious cars. The next one we've got today is Dom's iconic Charger. And this is just such a fantastic vehicle. I love the bug catcher that sticks out of the hood. It just looks absolutely menacing. The fact that it's all black. This thing is just so impressive. For this vehicle, we're using the Impante Dukes. This is just an amazing vehicle. After that, we've got another one of Dom's cars. This is his Dodge Daytona in this beautiful red color. Obviously, the most iconic part of this car is that giant wing on the back. I would love to see one of these vehicles in real life. That just big racing wing on the back is absolutely incredible. So such a fantastic car right there. Up next, it's Shawns Evo from Tokyo Drift. This is such a cool car, and when Rockstar added this vehicle to Benny's, this was one I knew I had to create instantly. I love the, iconic red color. Obviously, that sort of gradient livery design looks amazing. And this is just such an awesome vehicle with that big wing on the back. The Karen Sultan RS can create a ton of amazing versions. We're going to be looking at a couple more today, but that's the first one. Our next vehicle is another Evo. This one's Bryans Lancer Evo. This one is really cool as well. I'm glad that Rockstar decided to add another livery that would allow us to recreate this one. I think the hardest part about this one was getting the color right. I think my green's a little too vibrant. But either way, this is such an awesome vehicle, and I love being able to create this in Grand Theft Auto Online. Following that, we've got another one of Bryans Skylines. This one is fantastic. This is the all blue version, And it's just such a simple design, but obviously it's an amazing car. Of course, for this one, we're using the LG Retro Custom. So I think this is a great vehicle overall. Just a fantastic car. After that, we've got Dom's RX-7. We've got the red paint job. We've kind of got those wings in the liveries coming off the side. A really great vehicle right here. Any vehicle that Dom drives is pretty awesome in my opinion. After that, we've got another one of Bryans Skylines. This is probably the most iconic look of them all. That sort of silver with the blue livery on there. Just an incredible vehicle. And this one is just amazing as well. We're using, once again, the LG Retro Custom. Following that, I think my favorite car of the entire Fast and Furious franchise, this is Han's RX-7. This is the one he uses in Tokyo Drift with the orange with sort of black fills. Just looks absolutely incredible. This is the Banshee 900R in-game. It's an amazing car, let's just say that. Following that, it's the Not Tonight Pizza Boy version of the LG Retro Custom, another Skyline that was featured in Fast and Furious. I love this one. This is just absolutely incredible in my opinion. And wrapping up this garage, we've got Sookie's S2000. This one is done using the Banshee 900R, so not a perfect one-to-one, but we do have that convertible, we do have the pink, and sort of the white livery to go along with it. So that is 10 more Fast and Furious cars that you can recreate right there. Let's move on to the next garage. The next set of vehicles we're going to be looking at actually takes us to the Special Vehicle Warehouse, and we're going to be starting with the Wasteland Er. So the Wasteland Er was actually almost a one-to-one copy featured in one of the most recent Fast and Furious movies. It has like that big rusty bed on the back with a very minimalistic cab up front. So that's another really cool vehicle that Rockstar featured pretty much straight from the movie. And then you've got the ramp buggy, which is almost literally, again, another one-to-one copy of what was used in, I think, Fast and Furious 6 as well. One of the most iconic, villain vehicles in that film. After that, we've got the Talladega from Fast and Furious 7. For this, we were using the Declasse Sabre Turbo Custom. We were able to get that carbon fiber hood with sort of the black rims, and I feel like that one looked really, really cool. That's another fantastic build right there. After that, we've got one of my favorite villain cars in the franchise. That is Shaw's F-Type. It's all white. It's super classy. It's got that black roof on there. It's just one of the most fantastic cars ever. For that, we're using the Ocelot Lynx. So not a great car in GTA 5, but certainly a great car in real life. After that, we've got Dom's Impala from the start of one of the Fast and Furious movies, and this one is amazing. This is where he's like riding into Cuba. It's sort of red with that white stripe on the outside. So for this, we're using the Declasse Voodoo Custom, another Benny's vehicle right here. This is seriously one of the best cars, and I think one of the most underrated cars in the franchise, too. Another car from Cuba, we've got Dom's 1956 Ford Fairlane Crown Victoria. This car is just absolutely beautiful. This is the one he actually uses in, I think it's the drag race. It's just an amazing car. And we actually decided to use the Tornado Custom for this. Not sure how accurate that is one-to-one, but we were able to get it all black with a lot of the same upgrades and designs that Dom had as well. So that vehicle is, of course, fantastic. We've got the license plate on there that says Cuban Mile 2, which I think looks pretty good. After that, we've got another version of Bryans GTR. This is the all-white edition, and this one we're using the LG RH8. So we're actually not using any of the retro versions for this one. This is just a standard GTR. Again, so classy, so clean. It just looks amazing, in my opinion. Up next, we've got Roman Pierce's Bentley that was used in The Fate of the Furious. This is when they're actually trying to catch Dom, who they think has gone rogue at the time. It's got this beautiful white and sort of dark red paint job. I mean, the Bentley Continental is a fantastic car, and it looks amazing, obviously, in real life, and we recreated that in GTA Online. Up next, we've got Dom's 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner that was featured in Fast and Furious 7. Now, for this vehicle, I think we're actually using the Virgo or the Vidro, one of those vehicles. We got that carbon hood on there, which, of course, was a staple of that vehicle in the film. A really cool muscle car. I think this is, again, one of those underrated vehicles in the film that not a lot of people remember all that much because of all the amazing other vehicles, but it's still a fantastic car. After that, we've got Dom's blue Ford GT. Now, I don't think this one was ever driven. I think it was just seen in the background. It has those white stripes on the hood in the film. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get that in Grand Theft Auto Online because that option is not available for the Bullet. But either way, we were able to replicate that car, and it looks pretty awesome. From Fast and Furious 4, we've actually got the 1987 Buick Grand National, and this one is all black. It is menacing. It is super cool. For this, we are actually using the Willard Faction Custom. We were almost able to get this car identical just because of all those Benny's upgrade options. So another fantastic looking vehicle right there. And the last vehicle in this garage is going to be an Audi R8, the Obey 9F. This was used in the drag race that Letty actually takes place in, like her first race back when she's trying to regain her memory. So that one was all red. It looked really awesome. And it was sort of like the first car that they actually raced in that movie. Now let's move on to the final garage that we're going to be looking at today. The first vehicle is the Mitsubishi Penumbra, which is based off of Roman's Mitsubishi. Now, unfortunately, we don't have the fantastic livery that he has on there, and it's also not a convertible. So a little bit of a discrepancy there, but still a fantastic car. After that, we've got the Lykan Hypersport, or the Pegasi Reaper. This is the one that flew out of the building in Fast and Furious 7. And I'm not sure how many of those vehicles there are in real life. I think it's like a really, really low number. Either way, just an amazing vehicle, and the fact that it jumped through a building is incredible. After that, we've got Hobbs's like military tank. The Insurgent is like the best fit I have for it, and I don't know what that vehicle is in real life. All I know is Hobbs drives a really similar silver vehicle like this that he goes smashing through buildings with. So again, another great vehicle from Hobbs. After that, we've got the Invetero Cockett Classic, which is the classic Corvette Stingray that Letty actually drives when they're looking for Dom in the Fate of the Furious, and she's driving it through Times Square. A really cool car. I love seeing this vehicle in Fate of the Furious. Another Letty vehicle, this is the Coil Brawler, or the Local Motors Rally Fighter, that she also uses in Fate of the Furious. This is the one that she actually drives on the ice when they're trying to sort of finish off the movie. I don't want to give any spoilers, but that's an awesome car, and it's a fantastic car in real life too, which is really cool. After that, we've got the Pegasi Furnace, which is the Lamborghini that Roman actually decided to drive out on the ice in Fate of the Furious. This is definitely not the smartest option, as Lamborghinis aren't necessarily made for frozen over lakes, but Roman decided to drive it, and I'm not sure why, and he was spinning out like crazy. Either way, that's still an amazing vehicle. After that, we've got Bryans Ford Escort Mark I. For this video, we were using the Volcar Warner. There's other new vehicles that Rockstar have added that you could use as well. You've got that iconic blue paint job with the white stripe, those brown wheels, the roll cage. I love this scene where he's just driving down the highway, chasing the tank. It's such a great scene, so that's pretty cool. After that, we've got the Truffade Adder, which is based off of the Bugatti Veyron. And we see this scene in the Fast and Furious 7 when they're driving through the desert. It's an all-white Bugatti Veyron that they just see driving down the road. The Fast and Furious franchise loves their Chargers, and it wouldn't be a Fast and Furious movie without a modern-day one. This is actually Dom's Silver Charger. It's a four-door version. It's got a big spoiler on the back. It's got the carbon fiber hood and roof, blacked-out rims. This one is awesome. Again, it's sort of a modern-day take on the one that he's had in the past. And our final vehicle we're going to be looking at today is Shaw's Aston Martin DB9. So for this, we're going to be using the Debauche Rapid GT. The Rapid GT doesn't get a ton of love in Grand Theft Auto Online, but it's sort of that iconic bad guy villain vehicle, that, you know, Aston Martin, which I think is just so cool. So that right there is 30 plus Fast and Furious vehicles that you can buy, own, and recreate in Grand Theft Auto Online. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Which of these vehicles that we looked at today did you think was the best, and which one are you going to be recreating? Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more in the comments down below. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.